Hey everybody, Brendan here, aka Mr. Weaverface, and I realized that I have not done a room tour of my video game collection, so that's what this video is all about. I'm going to show you things, maybe some highlights. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I forget to mention, so if I do forget to mention something, I'll list it in text below. Hopefully you enjoy this video. I have a lot to show you. So let's get started. I'm just going to start with the consoles that I have hooked up to my TV. PlayStation 2, Xbox, Super Nintendo. Right now I'm playing Gunman's Proof. That's a repro and that game is awesome. The overworld walking around reminds me a lot like Legend of Zelda for the Super Nintendo. So very similar to that. Very cool. Nintendo there obviously. Nintendo 64, Gamecube with some special decals, and the Super Game Boy underneath. I mean the Game Boy player underneath. Turbo-grafx, got the Saturn, original Sega Master System, and Sega Genesis version 3. Lighting's pretty poor down there. This is my television. This thing's a workhorse. It's a Toshiba 32-inch. And I've had this TV for 15 plus years and I'm so glad I kept it. Really awesome TV for retro video gaming. Got the Game Capture HD by Elgato there for my capturing. Here all my Nintendo 64 stuff. Those games go about 1.5 feet deep. So I have a bit there. Haven't had a chance to really display them properly, so that's where they sit. I don't really play the Nintendo 64 too much. Mostly the other consoles. Down below, in the baggie and loose there, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. I don't have a lot of those, but do actively need to start searching for games for those because I do enjoy, definitely Game Boy Advance, I enjoy that. And definitely playing those on my Game Boy player on the Gamecube. Really enjoy playing on the big screen the Game Boy Advance games. Down below, a small but modest collection of Turbo-grafx. If you saw my previous pickup videos, you know that a few of the awesome titles there: Splatterhouse, Devil's Crush, Sinistron, Space Harrier 2 actually, Legendary Axe, couple bonks, couple crappy sports games, but pretty cool. Down here, I do have 2 stacks. Media racks of games. Down here, just Game Boy Advance cases. I do have a Game Boy Advance SP in the blue. And there's the Game Boy that I picked up with some Pokemon games. The Game Boy Color that I picked up on the one, that's in my one video as well. These are all my Xbox games. I don't have a lot of Xbox games. I did not grow up playing the Xbox. I'm a Sony fanboy, if you want to say that. So I pretty much grew up playing PlayStation 2 and 3. These are the GameCube games. Highlights are the box games, Mario 6, Mario Party 6, and Zelda there. I don't actively collect for Game Boy, but for GameCube, but if I do see some cool games for it, I'll check my list and pick it up. And I did not own a GameCube when it first came out, so that's why I pretty much don't have a lot for that. One system I did own growing up is the Super Nintendo, and you can see that I really enjoy collecting for that. Up top are probably my main highlights, a bunch of reproductions, and I have to thank JJRepro at Nintendo Age. She did some awesome job with the labels and the work on the cartridges. These are all covers that I printed out. I'll list that website later. It's escaping my mind right now, and I'll list where I got the game cases as well. I had a chance to play Metroid Redesign, awesome front mission. I had a chance to play Alcahest, did not beat that, but that game is amazing. Super Mario World: Return to Dinosaur Land, that game is good. Little more puzzle solving in there, so it is frustrating at times, but again, it's a reboot of Super Mario World, so pretty cool. Another highlight, Mega Man and Bass. Complete from Time Walk Games, which is no longer in existence. These games are going for crazy amounts of money right now. So I picked that up in eBay auction a while back. So excited about that. Also, got F-Zero sealed, player's choice. I don't like collecting sealed games. If I collect something, I want to be able to play it and enjoy it. So that's my philosophy with collecting. A bunch of, you know, nothing special Super Nintendo games that are loose. Here are some games that I haven't had a chance to put a case on yet. Really like ActRaiser and brawlers like Final Fight there. Got Might and Magic 3. And again, some crappy sports titles, Super Game Boy. So I usually play my Game Boy, original Game Boy on the Super Nintendo, again, so I can get the big screen. Got these listed in alphabetical order. Just going across here. Hopefully the lighting's good so you can see the titles. A couple highlights here. Breath of Fire 1 and 2 complete. Chrono Trigger complete. Earthworm Jim 1 and 2, those games are fun. Final Fantasy 2 and 3 complete in the box. Yeah, I mean, I remember getting Super Nintendo for my birthday, and the game I played the crap out of was F-Zero. Love that game. Great music too. Mega Man X. Complete there. I remember playing NBA Jam. Yeah, because playing in the arcade was awesome, and to be able to play this game at home, love playing that game. Also Pilot Wings 2, I really enjoyed playing that. I did beat that game. Secret of Mana complete. Soul Blazer. Super Bomberman 2, Castlevania 4, All-Stars, Kart, Mario Kart. Super Mario World 1 and 2 there. Not complete, but Super Punch-Out complete. That's a cool game too. I love playing Punch-Out in the arcade. I remember playing that a lot. And UN Squadron 2, that's a good side scroller. Wonder from Ease 3. Yeah. A couple more loose games. Some of these are repros I wasn't able to find labels for, so sitting there. I think I got BS Legend of Zelda Maps 1 and 2. What else do I got? Oh, is that Burning Heroes? Oh, Dual Orb. Dual Orb 2, I think. Yeah, those are just... Oh, Shin Megami Tensei 2. Burning Heroes. There's Burning Heroes there. So a couple more repros by JJRepro. She's not doing repros anymore, unfortunately. And I got a bunch done before she retired. So really fortunate to get those. Nintendo 64 now. These are the boxed games that I got. Star Fox 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day. That's probably the rarest one in this collection. That's complete in box. Super Smash Bros. Got a couple Zeldas. Another Zelda Majora's Mask. Down here, I don't have an Atari hooked up, but the first console I've ever played was an Atari 2600 at my cousin's house. I remember playing that game a lot. I mean, that console a lot when I would go over there. So, anytime I see an Atari 2600 game, if the label looks good and I don't have it, I'll try to pick it up if it's not too crazy expensive. Yeah, I found this game, Tax Avoiders. Yeah, I found that at a yard sale and I had to pick it up. And it is a little rare. I think it's maybe like 10-20 bucks or something. Worm War 2. Again, I don't know I'm not up on all the prices of the Atari really, but a couple more Atari, and you can see I have a bunch of manuals here and there over there. Sega Master System games. Bunch of loose games here. These are all the box games. I enjoy playing this, and this is the system that my wife actually grew up playing. I did not own Sega Master System as a kid. Again, the first console I remember... Well, the first console I really had was the Commodore 64, and then my parents, I remember vividly them buying me the Nintendo, original Nintendo. I remember like getting something done at the dentist, and then on the way home, we stopped at Terry's Music Explosion in Palmerton, and they bought me a Nintendo, and I was amazed. I had no idea they were doing that. Sorry, just talking while I'm not paying attention. All the Genesis games. I did not own a Genesis system as a kid. I mostly grew up with Nintendo and the PlayStations, and those are all the boxed Genesis games. And I have my lone Sega CD game. That's why I don't have it hooked up, because I don't have many Sega CD games, and I picked that up in a lot. Also remember getting the Super Nintendo for my birthday, and yeah, that was awesome. Here's my Fender Strat, Mexican made, line 6 setup, Veta 2 head, Veta cabinet, mishmash of books and stuff. I do have a Donkey Kong Nintendo 3DS display. Have no room for it. If you want it, let me know. I'll see what I can do, how we can get that done. Alright, moving over to my Nintendo stuff. Just showing a couple repros that I got. Reproductions, Earthbound, Zelda Outlands, Ghostbusters 2, which is cool, Drax Night Out, and Sweet Home. Had a chance to play Ghostbusters 2 and Sweet Home. Pretty cool games. Hopefully have more time for that. Tecmo NBA Basketball, not too special, but I don't have it lit in the below because this manual is like insanely huge. I have no idea why it is like that, but let's have that there. Final Fantasy and Ultima with the maps and stuff. I just have them sitting up there. A bunch of manuals here. Some are for, most of them are for Super Nintendo, but the cases that I have, I don't want the manuals to get too crammed up and folded up in there, so I just have them sitting there nicely. On my box of Nintendo games, Donkey Kong 3 a highlight, Ghosts and Goblins. I do have Zelda here in the corner, hard to see with the lighting, and I also have Adventure of Link. Legend of Zelda here, Adventure of Link over there, so we're going alphabetical order. Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. And here's all the Nintendo games. Battle of the Olympus, hard to see there, but I remember playing that game a lot. I needed a guide to beat that when I was a kid, but I remember thoroughly enjoying that game. Castlevania 1, 2, and 3. I remember beating 3. I don't remember beating 1 or 2. Oh, Base Wars 2, man. I love playing that sports game. Same with Baseball Stars. I think I skipped over. Yeah, Baseball Stars, man. I remember building teams, and then whenever you build a team, you would get like a power player on a team, and then I remember like trading that to like one team overall. Then you can like boost a team full of power players. Die Hard, kind of rare. All the Double Dragons. DuckTales, I beat that as a kid. That game is awesome. I remember playing that. Flintstones, it's not Return to Dinosaur Peak, but yeah, I don't have too many super rare Nintendo games. No Panic Restaurant, no Dinosaur Peak, no Zombie Nation. So same with the Super Nintendo collection. No Hagane or Hagane. I don't know how I forget it. I always say Hagane, but that may be the wrong pronunciation. I don't have Evo, I don't have Earthbound. But I try to find games in the wild. I could buy it if I want to, but my goal is to find games and having fun doing so. That whole discovery type of feeling. RC Pro-Am 2, kinda rare. Oh, Strider 2, I remember playing that game. That game is awesome. Really enjoy that. Beat that too. Actually, I didn't beat that as a kid. I remember playing that later, and I definitely understand, like, I think as a kid, I don't know, my understanding of games wasn't, maybe I was too little or something, but I definitely like learned how to play the games better, I think. as I got older, more experience playing video games, I guess. So that was Nintendo. This is PlayStation, original PlayStation. This was a console that I got as a, I wouldn't say as a kid, as a teenager, as I'm getting older. Some of these are my original games. These aren't, I didn't have a chance to list these in alphabetical order yet, but Vagrant Story there. Persona. That's a cool game. Super Puzzle. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's kind of on the not cheap side. Final Fantasy 8. Oh yeah, man. Horrible voice acting in this game, but this game is amazing. Castlevania Symphony of Night. A few more. Final Fantasy 7. Black Label and Greatest Hits. A couple Japanese versions are on the chart too. Some random PSP. I actually don't own a PSP yet, but I found some games that I picked up on the cheap, and there's some long box PlayStation games. Down below, a few more box Nintendo games. Didn't have room for at the top. Otherwise, I'd have to rearrange all these shelving. So I'll do that eventually, but not ready yet to do that. Oh yeah, there was my cover for the Nintendo DS, which I've been playing lately, which is pretty cool. And don't have a lot of DS games, but I have some decent titles there. I've been playing 9 Hours, 9 Person, 9 Doors right now. So getting into that. Can't wait to get into a lot of these other games. Down here, just a mishmash of stuff. And as you can see, ooh, floppy disks. What could that go to? Stay tuned and I'll show you. Alright, up top, original Atari in the box. Got my special edition Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation Vita box there. I play my Vita a lot as well. Zapper in the box, and back there, Super Scope. Here is my PlayStation 2 collection. Decent titles, got a bit of RPG stuff. Love the Capcom collections. I love arcade games, and yeah, the Capcom collections as well as the Midway arcade treasures. Love those. Man, so many cool arcade games I remember playing. Dragon Quest, Final Fantasies there. Front Mission 4 too, if you like turn-based games with upgrading mech kind of games. Love that. God Hand is rare. Didn't get a chance to play that yet. I just picked that up. Same with Gitaroo Man. That was in my epic PS2 video game pickup video. Love Indiana Jones. So you got Indiana Jones game there. Bunch of King of Fighter games. Kingdom Hearts. Some Maximo, Max Payne I remember playing as a kid. Those games were awesome. Mega Man collections there in the corner. Bunch of Metal Gears. Oh, Metal Slug 2, man. Not 2, but also Metal Slug Anthology, Metal Slug 4 and 5. Funny, action-based game, side-scroller. Just amazing. A few more RPGs over there. Ratchet and Clank series. If you never played them, you're missing out. Same with Resident Evil 4. That game, great. One game I want to get into, Rogue Galaxy. Haven't had a chance to play it, but that's on my next to-do list. Again, a Sega Genesis collection. Sly Game, Soul Caliburs. Oh yes, an original Rubik's Cube, sealed. I don't think it's worth much, but this was from, I think my dad wrote on there, 1981. And back then it cost $5. I think it still costs like $5 nowadays. But yeah, if it ever does get up in price, it'd be worth something. But I really don't think it's worth too much. Bunch of Potato Legends. And obviously Tomb Raider, love those games. Wild Arms, Xenosaga. Boy Scout mug. Down below, a bunch of books. Stephen King book collection. Love the Dark Tower series. And this is my Commodore 64 collection. I love the Commodore 64. I do have a bunch of games that I showed there, alluded to earlier. Just single discs with the manuals. I try not to collect, I collect originals, not copied games. But when I was a kid, I remember having a lot of copied games and very few originals. Road Raider I got sealed recently on the cheap. I played this game and I remember enjoying this thoroughly as a kid, so had to pick it up sealed. As I said, I don't usually collect sealed games, but this one was special to me and I picked it up. Some RPG stuff there. Ogre, Fantasy 2 and 3. What's this one? I think Maniac Mansion's in there. I don't know why it's in that box, but Wizardry. Bunch of gold box and Advanced Dungeon and Dragon stuff. Ultima 3 and 4. Those are complete with the maps and stuff. Bard's Tale. A few more games there. Man, all these awesome games, and as a fellow collector, you know that you do not have time to play all of these. And just looking at these, I want to play all of these right away. Man. I had this game as a kid, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That game's actually pretty good. Pirates, I have not had a chance to play. Heard that was awesome as well. A lot of text-based games, like mystery games, Witness, Suspect, Moon Mist. Move my golfer bank, and a few more games. Ooh, a little bobblehead there. Do you want to go golfing? Yes. Do you want to collect more video games? No, that's not a no. It's a yes. Yes. Alright. Let's play some video games and collect them. Awesome. I got my Sega CD hooked up to the version 2, but I don't have it hooked up to the TV because I only have the one Sega CD game. So once I get more Sega CD games, I'll probably hook that up. A bunch of... books of games. What do I want to try? Guides, strategy guides. Why can't I think of that? Chrono Trigger, Link to the Past, some good ones here. The Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Resident Evil 0. So some decent ones. Twilight Princess, that's thick, man. Holy cow. A couple yearbooks. And down here below, little add-on to the Commodore 64 keyboard. And a bunch of comic books there. Most of those are Indiana Jones and a few other ones there. I don't really collect comic books, but I love Indiana Jones, so I did collect like the Dark Horse series. And in these bins here are a bunch of Commodore 64 games, originals with manuals. Here I got just a bunch of bins, stuff to sell. And then just stuff just holding extra junk just so that the room looks nice. Got an older PC there, don't really use that much, but here's the Commodore 64. This is not the original one. My parents got rid of my original one when I was off in college. Same with my Nintendo and Super Nintendo games and my G.I. Joes and my Transformers. If you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about, pretty much. Love the Commodore 64. I did have the Boss joystick originally as a kid, same with the Epix joystick, and I love this joystick for gaming on the Commodore 64. So responsive, and unfortunately this one is a little out of whack, so I do need to get a replacement one. So, but I love that Epix joystick the best. Never really had that one, but the Boss I had, and that one there. So that's the Commodore 64. And again, the bins of games I need to sell. Just haven't had a chance to do Craigslist transactions or eBay and stuff like that. Alright folks, that is my video game collection. As you can see, that's a summary of what I have at the end of 2014. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please share it with your friends and family, because word of mouth referrals are the best way to get a channel off the ground. So I appreciate it. Again, thank you for watching this video. Please check out my other Mr. Weaverface videos. I'm Mr. Weaverface, and have a great day. Take care.
In every agonizing day, wounds bleeding, I felt it must be